I'm Reginald Gickington, and you can call me Reggie, and today I'll be starting a painting journey through the miniatures of Senjutsu by Swordstone Games. Senjutsu is one of my favorite games, and I've already played dozens upon dozens of hours of it in Tabletop Simulator, so I'm very excited to have a copy of it here in my hands today. Now, unlike my previous painting tutorials, Senjutsu doesn't have canon color schemes, the way, say, the Darkest Dungeon miniatures do. So in this project, I'm coming up with my own colors for these characters, drawing inspiration from historical armor, samurai media, and other Japanese content. For our first mini, we're going to be doing the warrior. For the warrior, I went with a triadic color scheme of red, blue, and yellow. Our first color will be Macragge Blue, which is going on the chest armor, shoulder pads, thigh pads, and helmet. Next up will be Corn Red, Rakarth Flesh, and Bugman's Glow. The Corn Red will be applied to the knee pads and to the helmet crest, the Maedate. Rakarth Flesh is applied to all of the fabric elements underneath the armor, the sleeves and the pants in particular. Of note, not the jacket, the Jinbaori, which we're not going to touch yet. Last is the skin, the fingers, and the face, which receive Bugman's Glow. Next, we're going Kurosawa with some black and white, Black Templar and Ghost Grey. Black Templar goes on the greaves and gauntlets, and Ghost Grey is going to be used on the jacket. For our next step, we're using Wildwood, a contrast paint, over all of the Rakarth Flesh elements except for the socks, which are going to remain their original color. Next up, we're going to use Corn Red and Gold Yellow. For any of the rope elements, like the belt and the fasteners on the greaves and gauntlets, plus the trim of the jacket, we're going to start by painting them red, then going back and painting over them in yellow. Unfortunately, yellow is a bit of a nasty color and doesn't tend to behave well when applied over black and darker colors, so we're giving it a stronger foundation by using this red. Then, using just red, we're going to do the Tsuba, the guard, on the katana, and the flowers on the jacket. Now we're handling the metallic elements, with Leadbelcher applied to the katana blade and Retributor armor applied to the crescent-shaped element of the helmet crest, plus the two flaps sticking out on either side of the face. It's time to wash the mini, and for this we're going to be using a few different options. First up is Coelia Green Shade, which is going over all of the blue elements. Next is a flesh wash applied to the skin elements and the gold Retributor armor parts. And last is black wash applied just to the sword blade and to the flowers on the jacket. This marks a rare occasion wherein I'm not washing the entire miniature, but much of this mini is contrast painted already, which is a naturally shading paint, or it's going to remain pristine in color like the socks and the jacket. To return some vibrancy, we're going to return to Macragge Blue, Corn Red, and add some Flash Gitz Yellow. These three colors are going to be used to highlight their respective elements. With how small some of these details are on these minis, remember that less is more, and that you shouldn't feel the need to get complete coverage on a difficult or tiny area if it isn't totally necessary. Like for example, the yellow of the collar around the neck, which is virtually impossible to reach under the helmet. We're going to use Wildwood and Black Templar now. Wildwood is applied to the sandals, while Black Templar is going to be used to practice our freehanding. Now, freehanding is the term for painting a detail that isn't sculpted. You'll often see, for example in Warhammer, people painting elaborate murals on the carapace of titans or on the side of tanks. But even something as simple as painting a triangle pattern on the back of the jacket is a freehand too, and you have to walk before you can run. It's important to practice freehanding often because it helps personalize minis and make them feel more real and not just like toys. We're highlighting the skin now by way of Cadian flesh tone, applied sparingly. We don't want to oversaturate with it, as we don't want to accidentally make the samurai white. Lastly, we're going to do the base, with Mechanica Standard Gray and a black wash. Now, each character in Senjutsu has a different color associated with them on their cards. The Warriors is a bright cherry red, which we're going to paint onto the directional arrow on the base using Mephiston red. And that concludes the Warrior, an interesting blend of blue, yellow, and red with neutral browns, whites, and blacks to support and enhance. I was inspired by several real sets of samurai armor for this scheme, and it also came from some deep diving into color theory, a topic I recommend looking into when making a new color scheme. I'm very happy with how they turned out, and I hope you all enjoyed watching them come to life. Have fun painting your Senjutsu miniatures, and feel free to tag me on Instagram @ReggieGick to show me how yours turn out. Whether you follow my colors or branch out on your own, I'd love to see them either way. Links to my affiliated socials can be found in the description. Feel free to subscribe or like the video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon with another painting tutorial.